Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Lauren and I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things. Oh wow, I'm filming all these videos in different locations. The last video is in my garden, now you're in my actual bedroom, not my office. Welcome to my bed. This is where the magic happens, and by magic I mean this is where I play Animal Crossing until 2 AM. I'm currently reorganising my bookshelves. You will probably see them in the next video. I think they look exactly the same, but to me it's revolutionary. So everything's a mess. But it is Lesbian Visibility Week. I wanted to recommend some Sapphic books because that's why we're all here. Some of these I've read, some of them I haven't. I wanted to just do one big video where I spoke about some ones that I really liked and some that I really want to read. I give myself a monthly book budget and I get paid on Friday. So it's like, I'm gonna get all the books. And it's also my birthday next week, so I'm so excited. I've got a lot, so I'm gonna like get through them quite quickly. Sorry there hasn't been a video in like a week. I just not been feeling great. I don't know why. Like fibromyalgia wise I haven't been feeling great, but also quarantine is just like, it hit me and I've been in this weird like brain situation. So I haven't felt great and I haven't wanted to film, but I do have some videos that I've filmed now, so yay. First book that we have is Orpheus Girl by Bryn Rebel Henry. This book focuses on Rhea. She lives with her grandmother in Texas. She's in love with her best friend Sarah and they have to keep all of that a secret, but when they are both outed they get sent to a conversion therapy camp to fix them, and it is them in the camp and Rhea decided she's going to take a stand against everything and everything from there. I think conversion therapy camps are ridiculous. They get me really angry and to the point where I can't talk about them sometimes. They really infuriate me. I can't believe they ever happened, but I can't believe they still exist now and that they are still a thing that people are sent to. But this book sounds absolutely incredible, really interesting. Apparently it's fantastic and a really good exploration of that. So I haven't read this one yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's only like 200 pages, so I probably should get on that ASAP, but I'm really looking forward to it because I've heard nothing but good things about it. Then we have Ash by Melinda Lowe, and I have read this book. I really loved it. This is essentially a gay retelling of Cinderella, which is delightful. I love retellings. I wanted to make a video about my favourite retellings because I talk about retellings a lot and how much I love them, but I've never collectively spoken about them all in one video. Because this is really good. It's a really creative way of retelling the story and having a new take on it and a new way of telling it, and I think it's really good. So creative and gay. Then we have A Fire of Stars by Audrey Corhus, and this focuses on Princess Diana, who was known for a really long time that she is going to marry the Prince of Mynaria, and their marriage is going to strengthen the bonds between the lands. But when the prince is assassinated, his sister Mare and Princess Diana have to work together, even though Mare is a little bit frosty towards Diana, to try and figure out what's happened and everything that's going on. And obviously we can see what's going to happen from there and where this is going to go. Yeah, this book also has a sequel as well. It is a series, but it's so good and I adore. Then we have Tell Me How You Really Feel by Amina May Safi, and this focuses on Sana and Rachel. Sana asked out Rachel a couple of years ago, and it was actually the first time Sana asked out a girl, and Rachel thought she was joking, so she turned her down, and there's been bad blood ever since. And now Sana has to help Rachel on her film project for her final year, and it is everything from there and them working together. I found out about this book because it was sold as a love letter to Rory and Paris from Gilmore Girls, which I absolutely adore that concept, so I had to read it and I absolutely loved it. Would 100% recommend. Then we have The Prom. This is actually based on the Broadway show of the same name, and it focuses on Emma, who just wants to take her girlfriend Alyssa to prom, but Emma is out and is very much bullied because of it. Alyssa isn't, and their small town is very conservative. They would definitely not be approved of, but she just wants to take Alyssa to prom. She just wants it to be safe. But then when she puts down her name and a pretend girl's name so she could get 2 tickets to the prom, because you have to have a partner to go, this sparks this whole thing on should she be able to take a girl to prom, and everyone complains about it, and it sparks these people to come into the town and start this whole revolution of why Emma should be allowed to take a girl to prom, and it is everything from there I really enjoyed this. The show is also fab, but I really enjoy the way that it challenges people's themes about, especially involving religion and sexuality, because I think that's something which should be challenged quite a lot, because there's lots of counter arguments. I don't have a problem with anyone's religion as long as they're not hurting anyone else, and I think sometimes it can stem and hurt other people, especially like in this example where Emma is being deprived of something that everyone else gets to do just because of her sexuality, which is not right. And the religion in question is Christianity, and I don't think that, because that's the religion I was brought up with, it's not a religion I have now. I have read the Bible, I know all of these things, and I think that actually excluding someone because of something about them is not what Jesus would want someone to do, but that's just my opinion. But I think this is really good, and I really like the way that it challenges that and the way that it kind of makes everyone think, and I think it's really important and has some really good themes in it, while also being a really fun book. And I'd recommend listening to the musical soundtrack because I like that a lot as well. Then we have Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee, and this focuses on Jessica, who lives in a place where superpowers are the norm, and she has a very powerful heritage and her parents are very big superheroes, but Jessica sort of has to lead a life with no powers, and she sort of feels like she's not living up to that. But then she gets an internship, and in that internship she gets to work with her long-term crush Abby, which is very exciting. But the internship is also for the town's most notorious supervillain, so it's like going against what she should be doing, and it's everything from there. This book's really, really good. It's also a series. I've only read this one so far though, but it's really fun and I really love it, and I'm really excited to get the other one. Then we have Pulp by Robin Talley, and this is set in 1955 and focuses on Janet, who has to keep the love that she has for her best friend a secret. Their relationship has to be a secret because she lives in a time where being gay is not accepted at all. But then Janet discovers a series of books about women that fall in love with other women, and it inspires her need to write, so that's what she does. It then follows on 60 years later in the future on Abby, whose senior project in school is about classic 1950s lesbian pulp fiction, and she discovers an author called Marion Love, and she absolutely loves her work, so she sort of is digging deeper to find out who Marion Love is, and it is everything from there, and it is these two girls connected even though they are from two entirely different times. Love this book, love Robin Talley. I would recommend anything and everything Robin Talley has ever written. I think she's absolutely fantastic and just love them. Then we have Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nigan, and this focuses on Leigh, who is a member of the paper caste, which is the lowest of the castes in the caste system where she lives. And 10 years ago her mother was taken by the King's Guard, and now she is also being taken, and it is her and 8 other girls, and it's sort of they are supposed to serve the king and like work for him and be his consort. I would definitely say they err on the edge of caution because there are a lot of trigger warnings for rape in this book. Amidst all of that, she actually meets another girl that is another one of these consorts and ends up falling in love with her, and it is everything from there. This book ended on such a oh my god cliffhanger. I absolutely just loved that whole thing. Some parts of the story were a little bit like fast paced for me, I guess, like everything just was, it was like build up, but it just happened so quickly. But I did really love the story. I'm excited to read more and find out more about what's going to happen, and I would recommend it. But yeah, this is the next one. Then we have It's Not Like It's a Secret by Misa Sugaria, and this book focuses on Sana, who is 16 and she's keeping lots of secrets from her Chinese American parents because she just doesn't think that they're gonna agree with things that she thinks and who she is, mostly that she likes other girls. Then they end up moving, and at her new school she meets Jamie Ramirez, and they start up a friendship / relationship, and it is that whole thing coming from there, about coming out, about family, about accepting yourself. I really loved the way that race was explored in this book. I think it was done really well. Obviously it's not something that I can relate to, but from what I've seen from other people, they also agree that it was done really well, and it was something which was explored in a really good way, which I really liked, and I thought was really good, and I just really loved it. There was one thing in this book made it 3.5 stars instead of 4 stars, one thing at the end, but other than that I really loved it, and I would recommend it because I think it's really good. Then we have Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins, and this book focuses on Millie, and she finds out that her best friend slash kind of girlfriend has been kissing someone else, and she decides to have a brand new start. So she ends up going to a boarding school all the way in Scotland. She was like, the further away I could go from Houston the better, so she goes to Little Scotland, and her roommate turns out to be the Princess of Scotland, and it's that story. I'm sure we can see where this is going. I read this when I was on holiday. Remember holidays? Oh my god. When I was last on holiday, I took it with me, and it's not very long, and it's just a short cutesy little read, and I really enjoyed it. So this is an honorary mention because it's not entirely like a fictional Sapphic story. Sensible Footwear, A Girl's Guide by Kate Charlesworth. I was recommended this by one of you guys recently actually, and it's like a lot of history and LGBTQ plus icons, but it literally says with added lesbians. Kate Charlesworth's beautifully drawn graphic memoir is a milestone in LGBTQ plus history and the first to document lesbian life since the 1950s. So I thought I would add this in there as well because this was a really good recommendation from one of you guys, so thank you very much. Now I have some I don't own in physical copy that I obviously haven't read yet, but I'm going to buy on Friday. So firstly we have Cryer's War by Nina Vella, and this is an Own Voices novel, and it focuses on two girls. One is human and one is maid. Isla is the human girl, and she is a servant in the house of the sovereign, and she just wants to get out. She just doesn't want to be there. And Cryer is the sovereign's daughter, and she was made to be beautiful and flawless and carry on her father's legacy, but that was before she met Isla, and it is everything from there. I've heard so many good things about this book, so I'm so excited to read it. I'm in a really big high fantasy kick at the minute, so I'm excited to delve into another one, especially if it's gay. Then we have Laura D Keeps Breaking Up With Me by Mariko Tamaki, and this is actually a graphic novel, which is exactly what it says. Laura Dean keeps breaking up with Freddie, who thought that Laura Dean was the perfect girlfriend and she really liked her, and then she sort of is trying to move on, but Laura Dean keeps coming back, and it is everything from there. I've heard so many good things about this graphic novel, and I'm really enjoying graphic novels at the minute as well. That's like the two things I've been reading a lot of, is graphic novels and high fantasy, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one and getting this one as well. Then we have The Sawkill Girls by Claire Legren. This was actually recommended to me recently, and I don't know too much about it. Like, I haven't heard masses about it, but I think that's just because it hasn't really been on my radar, so I haven't seen much about it. And it focuses on three girls who are taking on a monster who preys on young women, and again, it's fantasy. Apparently it's really eerie and it's good for fans of Stranger Things, so I mean, that is me. And I love eerie books, I love horror books, I love creepy books, so I'm excited to read this one as well. And then I have one that I actually bought on my Kindle recently, and that is That Could Be Enough by Alyssa Cole. And if you're thinking, that could be enough, why does that sound familiar? You would be correct in thinking that yes, that is a lyric from Hamilton, and yes, this book is based loosely on that. And it's not set in the time when Hamilton was around, it's not a retelling of anything, it is, well I mean it kind of is, but not of Hamilton's story. It's set after Hamilton had died, spoilers, and it's Eliza sorting out his works and his estate and everything she did afterwards and trying to preserve his legacy. And it is a servant in the Hamilton household called Mercy, and she meets this new girl that comes also to the household, and they meet, and it is everything from there. I saw this book recommended and got really excited because I saw the title. I was like, oh my god, Hamilton, and then I found out it was a Sapphic book and got really excited about that as well. I'm buzzed to read this. Apparently it's not that long. It says it's like an hour and 40 minutes to read, so I'm really excited to read that one as well. And then finally, this is next on my list of books to read as well. We have Nothing to Lose by Claire Lydon. This focuses on Scarlett, who gets caught up in a flood and it actually damages her house so badly and the basement that she has to move and she's temporarily homeless while everything is sorted out. We then have Joy, who's opening her house to the people that have been affected by the flood, and she gets Scarlett end up on her doorstep seeking help from it and somewhere to stay because of the damage that has happened. They are entirely different people, but it is their relationship and I'm really excited. I found out about this book very recently, so I'm really excited to read it. Yeah, so those are some Sapphic books that I thought I would recommend to you guys. Obviously I've not read all of them, so if you read one and it's bad, and I've not read them all. I hope that you find something in this that you enjoy and that you find a book that you might want to read. Of course, as usual, please leave your own recommendations in the comments down below so that I can see your recommendations and then the people watching can see your recommendations as well. Like I said, if you guys are new here, then I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things, so if you want to stick around and join us, then feel free to hit that subscribe button. And as usual, all the links to my other social medias are in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!